when people who have a penchant for cars and maybe a bit of a hoarding instinct pass away, somebody's got to deal with the vehicles left behind. We've come to this beautiful farming area of Cumbria where there's a few buildings dotted around with a few cars in. This one's going to be fun. So we've got a 1970s German car to look at in there. We've got a 1980s French classic in there. And then in here, we've got a 1960s British V8 car. And then here, we've got my brother, another man. So we've got 3 barn finds, 2 men. This is a barn find episode of the Late Break Show. I'm Jonny Smith. This episode is proudly supported by WD-40. The reason why I decided to bring Greg to this one especially is because the car in here was a car that you used to own many years ago. Not that it's the exact car, but the same model. Have a real affiliation with it. And then the car over there was the same as my first car. Not exact same car, but similar. So we have a bit of a like historical
link to them.
Yeah. And also you enjoy hanging around farmhouse looking at old scrap like we used to when we were lads. Because we always used to do that. He also has more tools than me, which is quite useful in this situation. And before anybody asks, someone has trimmed the entrance to this particular garage because the grass was up to here and we didn't have a strimmer to bring. Also, we haven't brought any dogs. Have you brought a dog?
No dogs, no dogs.
So this is Roger. Roger owns this amazing site. So was this a farmyard? This is a farm, right?
It was a working farm before my family moved here.
Okay.
So we moved here in 1987.
Yeah.
When I was 17. So it was the family, and it's been the family home since. But me and my 2 sisters over the years have moved away, done our own thing.
Yeah.
And gravitated back. My dad passed away in 2011, and the place has just been kind of stuck in a time capsule since then.
Yeah.
Cars wise, he was a car nutter. He used to do my mother's head in. The place was littered with between 20 and 30 cars.
Wow.
None of them good.
None of them good.
Just
cheap scrappers.
Yeah, he would never buy a new car.
Yeah.
Would never dream of it. He would just buy up a car, run it into the ground, and then keep it.
Park it. Yeah. So the one down there is the Beetle.
Yeah, there's a VW Beetle.
Down there?
It's in there.
Yeah. So my dad bought that for my mum because she didn't learn to drive until we were growing up. We always used to go around on a bus when we were tiny, and my dad was away. So that was my first car.
Oh right.
That was my first car, and that we moved here in 1987, as I say. And that was my garage down there. So when I got back in from sixth form or whatever, I'd park my Beetle in there.
Yeah.
That's where you tinkered with it.
Didn't need a lot of tinkering to it, to be honest with you. It was as good as gold until it wasn't.
Until you,
Yeah, and then I moved on to a Mini Metro.
Okay.
And
bad move.
The anyway. Beetle. I don't know. The Metro was an HSE, so.
Oh, okay.
It looked all right.
All right.
And the Beetle again just got left, so that's been in there since 1987.
Bloody hell. This is the reason why I bought Greg along, this car specifically, because you had, were you 18 or 19?
Can't remember, 18 or 19. One of the two.
When he was 18 or 19, he bought a... Gosh, that door is rotten. Wow. That is quite a rotten door. You bought...
One of those.
Rover P5B, 3.5 litre V8, black.
Saloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was your dad's car?
Yeah. He bought this in 1980. And I remember the guy selling it saying that it was an ex-government car.
Yeah.
How you prove that, I have no idea. And we drove it back. And it was his daily runner for a few years until we moved here. And then, again, it just got put away.
So that's not been on the road since what, 87?
87, yeah.
Right, okay.
87.
Okay, so that's been sat a really long time. We'll have a look at that in a sec. And the other car is down here, right? Shed number 3.
Garage, yeah. I mean, this is a car that I didn't even mention to you when I contacted you, just because in the context of the cars that we've had here, this isn't an old car.
Okay.
Okay.
80s.
Yeah, it's
80s?
it's 1989.
Do you mind if I
So
have
it's a new car.
It's not a new car.
Look at that.
So this is the thing, when Roger contacted me, we were talking about two cars, Rover P5 and Beetle. We get here and he says to Greg, oh yeah, actually there is another car, it's in this one, this shed. But yeah, 2CV Dolly.
Well, this is a car that my dad bought long after I'd left here.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know he'd bought it until I came back and, oh, there's a Citroen Dolly there. But it was one that he bought in secret because he knew that my mum would go ape if she found out that he bought another car.
Another one.
So he hid it in one of the buildings up the top.
Right.
So hoping that she would never known that he'd bought it. So I've never seen this on the road.
Well, this is great. So I think what we'll do then is we'll set about seeing what condition they're in, and all right,
Amazing.
3 cars,
Three cars.
one day, 3
Okay.
guys. I think if we access it, we can have a look at the condition of the Dolly, seeing as you don't know anything about it.
No, it's a car I know nothing about.
It was a covert purchase by your dad. I'm saying that like I've done that sort of thing before. Can I just say that you've got amazing taste in strimmers? Because
If only they worked.
I've got an FS55, and when it didn't start one day, you don't want to know what the FS stood for.
Yeah.
It's a nice foot pump you've got there, you know. Might need that in a minute. Yeah. This actually looks in quite good shape, you know.
Yeah.
I know it's been quite badly touched up with paint here, the front overriders have been overblown, but actually it'd be interesting to look at what the chassis and the floors are like. Oh my gosh, that's the stickiest understeel. Just put my hand on it, it's just pure tar.
In true Citroen fashion, it's a completely counterintuitive dashboard.
If you didn't see my one owner from new 2CV barnfind, I'll put a link above my head. That was actually a beautiful little car, and that is almost ready to go back on the road with the same owner.
There we are.
Look, I know the wobbly bonnet.
Look at that.
Yeah, your dad's put some gaffer tape over the hinge, the bonnet hinge. Well, this looks complete.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Even with a battery. 602.
Yeah, so because it's a late car, 1989. This is the big block. They call it the big block, Greg. Yeah.
People I know don't.
Right, quick little recap. Greg's already cracked straight on with the 2CV. In fact, we've got some good news on that front, haven't we? You've just taken one plug out on one side.
One spark plug, yeah, it looks like new plugs. Somebody serviced it and ran it once by the look of it, so that's a good sign.
They almost are box fresh, aren't they?
Yeah, so...
what we're going to do, we're going to then spray a bit of WD down the borehole.
Yeah, in the cylinder.
In the cylinder, just to make sure that it's...
With this amazing flexible proboscis
that is
here.
cool.
It is really cool,
It's
isn't it?
really, really
Yeah.
cool. It's really damn useful.
No more losing the straw and spending the rest of the day looking for it.
Yeah, it's true. So we're going to do that. This is also another crucial piece of news. Ice cream tub with a load of keys in that Roger's dad must have just put lots and lots of random car keys in. And almost on the top is the actual key for this car, the Citroen. So we don't have to hotwire it. Hallelujah. We have a real Citroen key. We've checked it fits.
That's a good thing.
So that's also a win. You checked that this is free, didn't you?
Yeah, the ring gear's exposed there, so you can get to it and just move it.
It's new, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is so new.
It is. If you want to give it a little bit of that then, and then we'll turn it over with the plugs out. We can try getting some power onto it.
Oil pressure light's going out
Oh, good.
straight away.
No, I'm not getting a spark. Yeah, so that's the switch there. So that will be the feed there. So if you
Yeah.
turn the ignition on.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah? Okay. So we've got power to the coil.
You have.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's sparking.
Yeah, but we're not getting a spark at the plug. So I need to know whether it's got electronic ignition or not, really.
Okay.
I would suspect it has.
Sir, for you, the expensive kneeling pad.
Thank you.
Yeah. That moved. That moved.
And then now that should draw off like that.
Look at that.
So there it is on the taper.
Yeah.
And now what have we got?
It's a rubber covering with these two metal.
What are these, oil pipes or something?
Yeah, they must go to this cooler, right? That's the oil cooler, right?
Okay, so now we need to remove all of this lot, yeah?
Yeah, we do.
Definitely a ludicrous amount of dismantling to do
For
to have to look at ignition.
Tell me about it.
There we are.
Right, that's it. It's in there.
Yeah, so it has got points. Look, there's a condenser.
Yeah. So push that belt out.
Oh, there's another bolt, look.
We can leave it down though, Greg. Just leave it down.
Okay.
I mean, look, there you go.
So now we need a screwdriver. This is a voyage of discovery.
Yeah.
Jacques Cousteau style. So all it'll be, you see, is you just get a tiny bit, like the outside of that alternator.
Yeah, just a bit of furring.
Well, that's what those points will be like. And you're trying to switch 12 volts. Because we're off the cam, so they're shut. Theoretically, if you switch the ignition on and I do that, I can just go like that and we should get spark.
Yeah.
There we are. We've got spark.
I can hear it.
Right, what you can do now is turn it over on the starter and we'll see if we're getting a spark
Yeah.
that way. Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. No, we're not. Okay. I think that the coil works. I think that the points are probably, even though I've cleaned them, they don't seem to be in very good condition. And I'm not convinced about the condenser either, because we're not getting a spark when we're turning the engine over on the starter motor, but I can occasionally make it do it by operating the points by hand. But what I can't readily see is how you get the condenser.
I found a brand new set of points on the glove box, the parcel shelf type thing.
Okay, let's see if they are the ones.
But I haven't found a condenser.
Let's take this out of here.
I've got the cranking handle in the boot.
Oh, that's good.
And you being you, I know you do like a good crank. I don't mean the American term, I mean the normal term.
Not sure I know what the American version is.
I think you do.
So I think that's what the problem is. Look, they're the two halves of the contact breaker. So that worn portion in the centre there is actually worn a crater. And of course, just going in between with some wet and dry,
It's not going to do it.
has cleaned that one, but only cleaned the outside of there. So where we are actually touching, i.e. when I'm doing it with my great big ugly finger, it's managing to just touch on the bright edge and we get a spark. But when the engine is operating it, it's just operating down in that oily, horrible crater.
So that is why that is on the parcel shelf.
Yeah,
ready.
So that's probably why this car stopped.
I know you've solved the problem, Greg, or you think you have, but I think I've just found a bit of a trove of spares for the tin snail. My worry is that the arse is going to fall out of this box. I've got spare dashes. I've got spare dashes, indicator stalks, light pods. I think it's a dog chew toy, I'm not sure that's 2CV.
A dog chew?
It's a dog chew toy.
All
Yeah,
right.
spare air cleaner, rear light clusters. Yeah, I've got some really good spares here. I haven't seen any ignition yet, which is what we specifically want.
Well, having seen the points now, I understand. I think that we're probably all right without a condenser.
Oh, hang on. I've got a spare coil and HT leads. Some good shizzle in here. Now, I say this every time and I mean it. if you've got a car that you know of that you think might be of interest for me or the show, might be in a real garage, a real barn, might be in a hedge or on a drive, get in touch. There's a link in the description, there's an email in the description. Email us, tell us more about it, if you've got any pictures, etc. Always keen to know about barn finds. Always keen.
If you would switch the ignition on,
Yeah.
and we'll see if we've got some better.
Right, ignition on.
Right, okay, switch off. There's a weirdness in here.
Just realised you're wearing like a sort of 1950s warehouse owner coat.
Yeah, do you like it? It's comfortable to work in.
Is it?
Yeah.
This is the Mark II Can of Hope from Tony BMW. If you're not familiar with the Can of Hope from Tony BMW, well, he's been on a few barn find videos, mostly BMW, the clue's in the name. And he invented this Can of Hope, which has an electric fuel pump on it. And then this is the Mark II version, so it has two fuel pumps, one for carburettor, low pressure, different circuit, one high pressure for injected cars, with a flick switch, pressure gauge, and you rig it up to a battery, you've got a switch, and this is a 10 litre jerry can, this one, so more literage. It's just beautiful, and it's really, really helpful on barn finds. This will be the first time I use it.
There we are.
Is it on? Are they the points are flashing?
Yep, we've got spark.
Right, sweet. Just to put a real quick pulse.
Yep. Perfect. Right.
Apart from the fact that the tyres are knackered, and I expect the brakes will need help as usual because they're hydraulic. The worst thing about this 2CV is the fact that someone's gone round it with touch-up paint.
Yeah, this wing's been painted
in a real rush. So can you see there's like white overspray, white overspray.
It's a bit like somebody said, "Oh, I've got to do the school run in 10 minutes' time." Just before that, I just got time to repaint my car.
It's exactly that. Look, the touch-up on here, like the window, it's gone right over the window rubbers.
So, what we need to do now is turn the engine over, and we want to see it sparking on its own without my pinky in there doing that bit.
Yeah, but you need to put that stuff back on, don't you now?
No, you just need to, if you just jab the starter and I want to see a spark at the plug.
Right.
And then I can put all this back to bed.
Ready?
Yep. Yep. Okay. So, we put that little treasure trove of stuff back on.
Should I turn the ignition box thing off then?
Yeah, switch that off. I'll put all this back to bed.
Plugs are back in. We've attached the Can of Hope so the fuel line goes straight onto the carburettor, so we've bypassed the fuel tank and the fuel pump. We got the volts attached, we know we've got spark, we know the car's not seized, we know the key exists. So I'm going to turn the power pack on, ignition on, choke out, and then you can control the carb from your end, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. Listen to that. Flipping sweet.
Nice, isn't it?
That is really nice.
I've got a confession to make.
What?
There must be petrol in the tank.
Why?
Because I've got my finger over the end of the...
Oh, and the fuel pump's working?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want me to turn it off?
No, it's fine. I've got my finger over it. Sounds really sweet, doesn't it?
Sounds really sweet.
You switch that on a bit to give it some more petrol.
Yeah, just giving it a quick...
Yeah. There we are. That's off choke now.
Already?
Yeah.
That's really quiet.
It is, isn't it?
Exhaust system's obviously not fallen off.
What a cool thing.
Yeah, that is cool. That's him happy. Look at the face, that's him happy.
That's what you get. That's as much as you get. Right, let's come off completely off fast idle now.
sweet. That's nice, isn't it?
One down.
Yeah, one down.
So this is probably the easiest way to get to the Beetle.
To the underground.
The easiest.
But when I say easiest, it's not easy.
Bloody hell. Right, so here's the boat.
Oh yeah.
This boat doesn't get used very often. You say your friend said he was going to keep it here for a fortnight.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. He just wanted to store it. I can't remember why.
This interests me because it's quite a late German Beetle. I think this is N75, 1975.
Yeah.
You said this is a 1200, right?
I think.
Yeah. And
Oh wow. There we are.
which means by this point in time, this was the run out really of the Beetle as we know it in Germany. And I reckon this is the base model, aka the Sparkäfer as they called it, the Saver Beetle, which means 1200 cc, so slowest engine. And yeah, I'm just looking inside because it had what they call like a 3/4 headlining. The headlining finished like here and here, so it was not as luxurious. It had as Spartan as a Beetle was going to get.
Yeah, luxurious is not a word I would associate with this car. So that was the way in and out. I mean,
It's like an old garage door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that door never actually. I don't think it's ever moved from that position. It was just an open driveway. So I used to just reverse the car in here when I got home and drive it out again the next day.
Did this work when it last got put in here? Was it broken? Did you take bits off it? Because
it's not had any bits taken off it, at least not by me, and my dad wouldn't have done. It would have come in here because something was wrong with it.
nice. Okay.
I think one of the rocker assemblies might have come away.
Oh. Right.
Okay.
We've come to a decision. It's time to get the Beetle out. This is the way it went in, so it should come out this way. And then we're going to look at trying to fire it up outside because access is appalling in there.
Yeah, there's a boat.
There's a boat and it's very dark and dingy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a bit of gardening. It might rain this afternoon, so we're going to try and hurry up. Shall we with the lino? Oh,
Look at that.
look at its face. Now this is testing my my air-cooled VW knowledge a bit because it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure one of the other reasons, the other things that makes it a Sparkäfer is they never came with chrome. So that's why this is black, bumpers are painted black, and there's no Volkswagen logo here, like there should be. Because again, these were all just sort of ways of cutting the price down. No chrome, no extra trims. It's got a load of scabs on it, but the scabs are just, they look worse than what they are. It looks like it's had a reaction to food or something like that. You know, like it's got a bit of a skin condition. How rotten it is, I don't know. But that door is, whoa. You all right?
Yeah.
Is that part of the roof?
Yeah.
So it's on cross-ply tyres. That's how long it's been off the road. That tyre's completely shredded, and the valves have been left with the valve caps off, so they're a bit corroded. So I'm just going to get a squirt of WD on those. And also, this door doesn't shut properly because the hinges are completely seized, so I don't want to wreck the door. We don't know if this car's salvageable at all. It is bubbly in a lot of places, but it'd be nice. We're going to get it out, and then we can at least have a better look at the engine and have a good look around it. Right, we've cleared out all the opening. We've attached the strap to the front beam. Roger's got his Land Rover on the case, and we're hoping, well, it's got 2 inflated tyres out of 4.
3.
Is it 3?
Yeah, we've got 3 now.
Oh, I thought it was 2.
No, we've got 3 now.
Okay, 3 out of 4 isn't bad. We're going to try and drag it over this threshold, but the steering lock is on and we don't have the key. So what's the worst that can happen?
Well, all the wheels this side are solid.
Yeah, well, the front, I mean, do you see the suspension
Yeah.
dive?
Hang on. Whoa.
Roger's poor Freelander clutch needed a rest after that, and we didn't have a great deal of time left. So we thought it was a good opportunity to take a break from the Beetle and head over and inspect the Rover. Now, was this the first Rover to have the 3.5 litre Buick
Yes.
engine? It was.
This is the first incarnation of it.
It is. So
Yeah.
hence the B moniker for the
Because
P5.
the plain P5 has a straight 6, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like the...
It's just nowhere
The
near
other
as
Rovers.
cool a car.
No, a lot.
Nowhere near as quick, doesn't look as good, didn't come with the wheels, the road styles.
No,
didn't have
very
quite-
ordinary sort of thing.
It was quite ordinary. It was
Yeah.
quite frumpy, whereas I thought this was extremely svelte car. Which is why I brought you along today, because I remember when you bought yours,
Yeah,
and it was pretty damn cool
and thirsty.
and pretty damn thirsty. So this car, we found it with the bonnet up. We've tried to put the bonnet down, and it's folded, it's creased there because I think the hinges are seized. What have you done so far? Because you've started. He meddles when we're off camera because he can't resist it.
What I've done is I've had a look to see everything is complete, basically.
Yeah.
Somebody's already got rid of the SU AED, which is like an really early automatic choke, which were quite poor
Oh, were they?
in period. Yeah, some of the big Jags had them as well. Clever idea, but kind of didn't really work, and you wound up driving around with the choke on a little bit most of the time.
Right. Okay.
So somebody's already got rid of that, which is a good thing. And it's got a manual choke conversion with a cable there.
Oh, that's what that is. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what that is. Unfortunately, the engine appears to be seized. The alternator turns, the water pump turns, the power steering pump turns, but the big fella downstairs doesn't.
Did you? What you got a big socket on that? Did
I've
you?
put a
big lever.
big socket and a bar, and yeah, it's unfortunately stuck fast. So
I know we sprayed some because the plugs are steel into aluminium head. Is that right?
that's right. Yeah, and
So they tend to corrode.
they're quite inaccessible. So I've had those soaking with WD-40. Managed to get one out, but it took
a lot of work.
probably 10, 15 minutes to get one plug out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, because you have to go a little bit forwards, a little bit backwards, a little bit forwards, just to be kind to it. It came out alive, no problems
Yeah.
with the thread or anything, but
What a shame.
I don't think that we're going to be able to get this one running, unfortunately. I kind of wanted to hear it as well,
Yeah, me
because
too.
they are a really nice sound. Although if you remember, mine had a completely rotted out exhaust system.
I do remember that.
And I remember buying the original exhaust system for it, which
Yeah.
was like crucifixion
Yeah,
of the wallet.
And are you going to tell the viewers where you kept that for all of the time?
Yeah, on the drive at home.
You know the exhaust. I remember
Where
exactly.
did I keep it?
Under your bed.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it was
Under
under my
your bed. You
Yeah, it was under my
absolute
bed.
virgin.
Yeah.
It was under your bed all this time.
Well, it was
A brand new
expensive.
exhaust system. For
It's
a Rover.
expensive.
I know you kept it warm
Yeah.
and dry next to your bed.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look at that.
It's singing.
And actually, although it made a noise, the action of the handle,
Is it all right?
yeah, it's
I'll let
lovely.
me-
This is such a trip down memory lane.
Is it?
Can you remember, for 10 points, what's in the centre console?
Oh, like a tray.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah.
It had.
So you've got to look.
It's got. Is it tools?
Yeah, you've got a picnic. Look at that, from the 70s, Halfords
Oh
de-icer.
my gosh! Look at that. You got to show that. To
back when ice in the morning was a worse thing than shafting the planet.
Yeah.
So out comes your picnic occasional table,
Yeah, or business table even.
or whatever. I'm trying to remember now how you do
Did
it.
it unclip or?
Yeah, it comes out.
Oh, man, this is exciting because I remember this was so cool.
Yeah, it comes out, and I remember inside there, and then you press that, which allows the whole thing to come out, and then, bro, look at that. There you have
Oh man,
all your tools.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
Check this out for retro. You got your de-icer. Look what I've got.
Smith's cheese and onion.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look how old that is.
that's like a proper ancient
Smith's
single-use
cheese and...
plastic.
Oh
isn't it?
my gosh, it's amazing. Keep Britain tidy.
Here's a thing that I only learned the other day. I heard somebody say, because they said that this colour interior wasn't usually specified for the government cars, but mine was this exact colour, and I know mine was a ministry car because it had rear seat belts.
And it had crests on the belts.
Yeah, it had. Yeah, they were made by Irving, the parachute people.
That's right.
Do you remember?
It did have parachute.
Is it
logos
Irving
on.
or Irving?
This has
Parachute.
got belts in the back. Here we go. Here's the logo.
Yeah, that's.
That is Irving. Oh,
Yeah.
you
And
got.
mine had front headrests as well.
So you think that's what made it governmental?
Well, I think so.
And do you remember? I remember these weighted grab handles.
Yeah.
You know, you just said you don't want to fall in love with it again. I have.
Yeah, like Chris Isaac.
Yeah. I'm totally. I think these are such good cars. These and P6s. They're brilliant. Right, so you might tell that it's now raining. We've had to come back to this. We went and had a look at the Rover, realised the Rover was seized. The brakes were seized on this. So Roger and his friend Trevor unseized the brakes on the Beetle while Greg and I were looking at the Rover. Now are actually going to drag it out. It's just it's going to get rained on. So all this lovely patina, it's actually more than patina. It's some rot. It is going to get rained on. And the steering lock is still on.
That's good.
Yep, good. Floor pan. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Right.
Look at that.
There we go.
Patina, isn't it?
Self, isn't it? Is it? So, Rod, you've just used your current car to drag out your first car. And you were the one that put this away in the first place. Is that right? You were the last person to drive it?
Yeah, parked it up. I don't know what month it was, but it was 1987.
Bloody hell.
And it has never been out since that day.
Until today.
And doesn't it just look like it?
It actually looks like it's been under the sea for 50 years, I think.
Yeah.
Poor thing. I mean, some of the scabs are deeper than just scabs. The A-pillar's got some rot in it. Yeah, some of it's wafer thin. And by this time in the 70s, towards the end of the German production, the cars were not built as well. They'd thinned the metal out. They weren't as durable. But it's your first car. And it's a German Beetle that's been sat in there all this time. What's going to happen to it? Are you going to keep it?
No.
You're not?
No. Everything here has got to go. So,
Including this bug.
yeah. So the house is going up for sale. The farm's going up for sale. All the vehicles are going up for sale.
Gosh.
So if anybody out there is interested in any of these cars, then
Don't email me because we will get a tidal wave. I'll put his contact details on there, or we will announce how to contact us on social media about these cars.
I remember my dad decided to repaint the car because don't know if you can see, the car's painted white, but that door is blue.
Yes, I saw that when I opened it.
Yeah,
That's navy
so we
blue.
had two. We had a blue one and we had a white one, and he used the blue one as a donor car for this. But my dad didn't want to drive round in a white car with a blue door.
Well, no.
So he thought, I'm going to repaint the car. So he did, with a tin of paint and a brush.
Do you know what? I saw in the dust I could see brush marks.
It's gloss. It's just gloss paint.
It's household gloss.
Household gloss.
Oh gosh, that's awful.
Did the whole car in it. It looked awful.
But it would have only been what, like 8 years old at that time?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Something like that. But that was the kind of
Mentality.
mechanic
So
my father was.
So you can see the other side's got the original running board still on.
Yeah, that's gone.
This is gone, and where they always rot, the heater channels on a Beetle. It's a separate body chassis car on a Beetle, but the heater channels are part of the sill and part of the structure of the body, and that's gone. It's absolutely slashing with rain, so all this authentic barnfind patina is going to be washed off, I think, imminently. But isn't it lovely to just pull out a car with some good memories attached to it? I have no idea if this car is restorable. It could end up as a donor. Beetles never fully die.
No.
This won't get scrapped. It'll either get donated into either a race car or a buggy. But it's really cool. I do like it. It's been a long day. Well, it has. We weren't expecting to have 3 cars. But what's really ironic is that out of the 3 cars, the one that we didn't know existed, we got running.
It's the one that runs.
Running, and we probably could have got driving, actually. We were pretty confident we probably could get it to drive. So the Beetle, we were flitting around between each car at various points. You actually had a go at trying to start the Beetle, but although the engine was free on the crankshaft pulley,
Yeah, the engine turns, but
couldn't get the starter to engage. Could
no.
get it to click, even though we bypassed the ignition because we haven't got a key.
haven't got the key.
Which is why we had to drag it round here with Roger in the Freelander. So, yeah, Rover was a bit of a non-starter in terms of mechanicals.
Because
It's seized.
Yeah.
It really needs to sit, with some diesel down it for several weeks. That would be the right way to try and unseize it. But it's been really nice to actually find some real barn finds. And this...
Yeah, who knows what will happen to this thing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've got a friend on speed dial who's keen on it. It is lovely, though.
Yeah, and it sounded sweet.
It's mechanically, I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful. If you can see beyond the overspray, it's absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much for watching this Barnfind episode of the Late Break Show in association with him, G-Unit, my brother. And if you've got a car that's sitting in a garage, a real barn, on a drive, in a hedge, wherever that you think is interesting enough, do let us know. There's an email address in the description. Send a couple of photos and some details and background about it. Maybe it's got an amazing story. We're always keen to hear more. If you haven't subscribed or rated the channel, you're a fool. You need to. That's fair, isn't it?
I
think
guess,
that's fair.
yes, fair assessment.
I think that's fair.